Japan's faceless singing prodigy, Ado. I am in love with Ado and her singing and her ability and her technique, and just about everything is incredible about her. But a lot of people linked this over to me and said, hey, there's a lot of little details that you don't know about her, a lot of little things that you don't know about her. People linked this video over to me, Japan's Faceless Singing Prodigy by Goosebumps Radio. And they said, you'll absolutely love this video, man. This shows a lot of insight on Ado and explains a lot of different things and maybe the story. I'm excited for this. Come join me. Let's see it together, please. Let's go.
Japan has been producing some of the world's best pop music for decades.
Yeah.
But barely anyone outside of Japan has actually heard it. Artists like YOASOBI, Radwimps, and Nujabes have brought Japanese music to international audiences, but this up-and-coming singer is going to bring J-pop to the entire world like no one has ever done before.
Oh, yeah. I mean, she brought me into it. Ugh. That intro, what the fuck? Yo!
At 17 years old, Ado is your typical high school student.
Yo, why did I actually
look
like her?
Who's made fun of by her classmates and dismissed by her teachers for being too shy.
Oh.
But on the eve of her 18th birthday, Ado released a song that changed everything.
Here we go.
Ado's rise to the Japanese and global charts is just as unprecedented as it is impressive.
Yeah, dude.
Fast forward a few years, and she's done music for some of the biggest anime series, collaborated with one of the biggest K-pop groups, and completed a world tour that was record-breaking. But how did Ado, a girl who seemed destined to become another social outcast, rise from the deepest depths of self-loathing? This is a story of how Ado and her voice conquered not only Japan, but the entire world.
You know what? You know what I feel like, by the way, before we get into it? I feel like that is the biggest part, is like she knew that she was a quote-unquote outcast, and she embraced that. You know, a lot of people, sometimes they try to be something else because of the fact that people are looking at you differently. But in reality, if people are looking at you differently and you are, let's say, this way, like she doesn't want to just attest to what everyone else is doing. So she just embraced that idea of like, hey, I'm different. Hey, exactly. Like, ooh, why you weird? You right. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck you gonna say now? What, y'all gonna type to me like, bro, you look ugly and you weird. You right. Now what? Now we just standing here. And now I'm gonna do my own thing. You feel me? Like, you see?
Ado was born in Tokyo on October 24th, 2002. And for a while, this was the only personal information that we knew about her. Ado was first exposed to music as a child through her father's love for Kiss and Queen. She was also very fond of Disney film soundtracks, especially the ones with princesses. In elementary school, her dream was to become a manga artist and illustrator. She enjoyed drawing in class, but Ado's classmates would often make fun of both her and her drawings. When she was around 6 years old, Ado's cousin introduced her to Vocaloid through the song Daughter of Evil. Ado was immediately fascinated by Vocaloid and began using her father's computer to further explore it.
Oh wow.
If you don't know what Vocaloid is, it's basically a singing software that lets users create synthesized vocals. To say that Ado loved Vocaloid is quite the understatement. The most popular Vocaloid voice is Hatsune Miku, and Ado absolutely adored Miku. Ado described herself as being shy and insecure, and it didn't help that her teachers often reminded her of her shyness. It was only through music that Ado could save herself from her own self-loathing.
And express, right?
Although she spent a decent amount of time on YouTube, Nico Nico was Ado's favorite video sharing site growing up. This was largely due to the scrolling comments that would appear on the site's videos, and Ado wanted to make her own videos so that people would comment on them. Ado was, and still is, a big gamer, so when Nico Nico was released on the 3DS in 2014, she spent a lot of time on the site. She specifically became interested in Nico Nico's Utatemita category, after hearing Utatemita song covers from the anime Kagero project. Utatemita translates to I tried to sing, and Utaite are virtual cover artists who post their content on Nico Nico under this category. Ado was inspired by the site's Utaite, especially since they would sing without ever showing their face or revealing their identity. So in 2017, Ado made an account and posted a cover of the song Kimi no Taion.
Is this it?
The name she used for that account was Ado, and she got it from studying the Kyogen play Kaki Yamabushi in elementary school. Kyogen is a form of Japanese comedy theater that shows the daily life of ordinary people in the Middle Ages. In Kyogen performances, there are two types of actors, Shite and Ado. She thought Ado sounded cool, and then later learned that Shite means main actor, whereas Ado means supporting actor.
Yo, I'm sorry, is this not so fucking cool to y'all, bro? this little backstory to her, and it's actually a beautiful one. It isn't just a linear, simple one, right? It isn't, oh, shy kid, now she's this. There's like a lot of like nuances in between, right? She loves gaming. She loves all these little things. And while in class, she heard this specific name and this little like cultural like backstory to it. And she thought this was really cool. And if you kind of see, like, she felt like a supporting character, right? Because people would hate on her, you know, tell her she's too shy and all this. She's the weird one. And she chose Otto, which is like a support. Like, you know, you see what I'm saying? Like, hopefully y'all get what I'm saying. It's just so badass for some reason, dog. So dope.
It's hard to compete for attention on the internet. I would know this very well. But despite the discouragement Otto faced, she continued to post covers. Now you may be wondering where Otto was recording her covers, as she didn't have the money or resources to go to a studio or get fancy equipment. Well, Otto began recording in her room. And in spring of 2018, she created a recording booth in her closet by pasting paper and other soundproofing materials on the walls. Otto's lack of self-esteem made her worry about whether she could find a job after finishing high school. Otto has said previously that if she didn't become a singer, she would have likely become a NEET, which is someone who isn't in education, employment, or training. So in September of 2019, Otto said in a YouTube livestream that her goal was to do a solo live performance at Zepp Diver City by the time she's 18.
That's amazing, by the way.
Over time, Otto's talent started drawing the attention of not only listeners.
And I think I passed that place. Can I see that one more time? Did I pass this area?
Live performance at Zepp Diver City.
I swear I seen this city, bro. Or no, not the city. The Zepp Diver City thing here in Tokyo. I swear I seen this because when I went to Japan, there was this beautiful looking place. I didn't know what it was. I'm pretty sure I saw it.
By the time she's 18.
That's crazy though. By the time you're 18.
Over time, Otto's talent started drawing the attention of not only listeners, but also fellow creators on Nico Nico. In December of 2019, Otto made her first feature on the single Osmanthus by Kajira, also known as Whale Don't Sleep. Her second feature was on John Yakatori's single Shika Benesse in March of 2020.
Oh wow.
The song didn't receive too much attention until 2 months after its release, when a particular part of it became popular on TikTok. In May of 2020, Otto was a part of Pony Canyon's compilation album Palette 4. She released 2 songs, both of which are region locked to Japan though. A month later, she released a cover of Boca della Verita that amassed more views on YouTube than the original version did. By the time September came around, 2020 was already a momentous year for Otto. She featured on 9 songs already and officially joined a talent agency. But the biggest turning point of her career was yet to come. Otto returned from school one day and saw a Twitter message from a Universal Music representative. The company had been keeping an eye on her since Shika Benesse blew up on TikTok, and on October 15th, 2020, it was announced that Otto would make her debut with Universal Music Japan. For this project, Otto was paired with Vocaloid producer Seyudo, who she previously worked with before on Palette 4.
She's incredible, man. I don't know. I feel happy for her. You feel me?
On the day before her 18th birthday, Otto made her major label debut with Usewa. The song topped nearly every Japanese music chart and peaked at number 41 on Billboard's Global 200. Seyudo did a phenomenal job with the song's composition and Zar. Whether you're listening to Otto for the first, 900th, or even 100,000th time, you get the best experience when you're watching her music videos. Usewa's music video was done by Wuma, and the girl featured in it is Neima. All of the characters in Otto's music videos are usually named by their respective artists. You can even buy plushies of the characters that feature in the Otto cinematic universe. Cool. In the months following Usewa's release, the song got a piano version and a remix. Otto also did some other features that deserve some attention. Faking of Comedy is probably my favorite song that she's done alongside John Yakatori. And then there's Lovka. This song is really distinct from every other Otto song I've heard before, and I would never guess it to be an Otto feature just based on hearing the first 30 seconds of it. On Christmas Eve of 2020, Otto released her second single, and boy was it another banger. Ready Made was made alongside Vocaloid producer Siri, and its lyrics and music video feature some really cool baseball imagery. A month later, Otto made her first TV appearance through a phone interview with the music station. Now, I won't be talking much about the lyrics in Otto's music. However, one song's lyrics that I have to bring up is from her third single, Gira Gira.
Gira Gira.
4 days after Gira Gira was released, Otto reached 1 million subscribers on her YouTube channel.
Amazing.
Her channel currently has over 6 million subscribers and 3.3 billion views. Odo was Otto's 4th single, and it's a really cool EDM
I
track.
react to this.
It's the second Ado song I ever heard, and probably the first song that I'd recommend for a first-time Ado listener. With each new song release, Ado's popularity was growing. Enough so that in June 2021, Ado was chosen to be the second Japanese female artist featured on YouTube's Artist on the Rise series.
Oh my gosh.
Ado's official artwork is actually done by one of her followers named Orihara. The two met in 2019 after Ado liked some of the fan art they made. Since 2020, Orihara has been Ado's official image director, and they also create the costumes that Ado wears for her
That's
concerts.
so dope. What?
On Ado's 19th birthday, she revealed her official logo. Now you may be wondering why there's a blue rose on it. Blue roses were never a part of Ado's avatar design or branding until she found out the meaning behind them.
Here
In
we go.
2002, the same year that Ado was born, Japan figured out how to make blue roses. In flower language, the meaning of blue roses then changed from impossible to dreams come true. The story of blue roses becoming reality resonated with Ado, and it embodied her dream of one day singing in front of a big audience.
That's amazing, guys. I'm sorry. That's so beautiful. Such a little thing, yet so incredible. It has a lot of meaning behind it that some people might not even pick up on. I think that's just the most... Oh my gosh.
2022 was the most significant year of Ado's career, and it started off with the release of her first album, Kyogen, in January. The word Kyogen comes from the same type of Japanese theater in which Ado got her name from. The album features 14 songs, and each track was done by a different Vocaloid producer. Kyogen really shows the talent and diversity that exists within the Vocaloid community. It's great that this album was able to share Vocaloid music with a more mainstream audience both in and outside of Japan. I don't think that many people know that the album's fourth track, Freedom, actually appears in Fortnite, as the song is played sporadically on the vehicle radio. The sixth song, Ai Tekute, was used in one of my favorite
I don't know, but
anime
I haven't been
series,
playing Fortnite, but that's crazy. I don't know why that's crazy, but that is crazy. Like, it's getting sprinkled in there for everybody to hear. Sprinkle here, sprinkle here. And now, I found out about her. And that's not to say it's a big thing or anything. I'm just saying, like, but it's crazy because it took so long for me to find out about her, which sucks. But, hey, what's the saying? Better late than never, right? And I'm so glad I did. She is one of my favorite artists right now. Like, I've been obsessed listening to her in the car, bruh. I've been looking crazy. My head's smashing all over the place. Like, dog.
Kaguya-sama Love is War. However, it wasn't used in the anime, but rather the live-action adaptation. It's also worth mentioning that the 12th song Motherland was used as a theme song for the 2022 Winter Olympics on some Japanese broadcasts.
Oh, wow.
If I wanted to bring attention to any particular songs in Kyogen, it'd definitely be Fireworks and Kagakushu. Both songs are more relaxed compared to the rest of the album, and they're definitely underrated for the number of streams they've received on Spotify. Kyogen was a big success in Japan, with it topping pretty much every chart it appeared on. It was also the first album by a female artist to sell over 100,000 copies in its first week of sales since 2008.
Yo, I'm not
The
gonna
next
lie, that's
7 months
awesome,
saw Ado release more original songs and covers. But the most important thing during the span was that she had her first 2 live performances. In April, Ado had her first live concert at Zepp Diver City, the same venue she dreamed about performing back in high school. The event was called Kageki,
Goosebumps,
and it was a
dog.
big success. Her second show was at Saitama Super Arena to a sold-out crowd of 20,000 people and was called Campanella. 2022 was already a huge success, but the biggest moment of Ado's career was yet to come.
Oh my gosh.
この未来で世界中
Whoa!
変え
What song is that? Her voice, dog.
変えてしまえば
What? All right. Show off then. Just show off.
Nearly every top Japanese artist seems to be making anime music nowadays, and it was just about time for Ado to be a part of this group. But Ado didn't do music for some irrelevant seasonal show. She did an entire soundtrack for what's arguably the most popular anime series. Released in August of 2022, One Piece Red is a film centered around this new character named Uta. Uta was voiced by Kaori Nazuka, and Ado was responsible for singing all of Uta's songs in the movie.
Oh my gosh.
Ado admitted that when she was first offered the role, she thought it was a prank. Ado did 7 songs for the movie, each of which was done with a different producer, and it really shows with how distinct each song is. Ado gave herself 3 months to complete the soundtrack. The project was a big challenge for her, and it helped her grow as both a person and a singer. The most impressive thing was that Ado recorded all 7 songs before she even heard Uta's voice for the film's dialogue. One Piece Red became the 6th highest grossing film of all time in Japan, and this was in large part because of its incredible soundtrack. The movie's soundtrack album Uta no Uta was just as successful as the film. It was Japan's most downloaded album in 2022,
Wow.
and its opening song New Genesis became the first Japanese song to top Apple Music's daily top 100 global chart. The second track, I'm Invincible, is probably my favorite Ado song, but that's largely because it was one of the first Ado songs I binge listened to for a while. The third song, Backlight, really encapsulates
And I
that
need to
raw
listen to
rage
these,
from
by the way,
Usewa,
yo.
alongside an awesome guitar riff from Vondi. There's even a few ballads on the album, and despite it being the first time Ado had sung in this style, they turned out amazing. The album also had a bonus cover of the One Piece
But that's
song
how you grow.
Genkesu no Sake. It didn't appear in the
Doing
movie,
these kind of challenges
and
for
it definitely
yourself.
has a mixed reputation amongst fans. For myself, I think the song is pretty good beside the yo ho ho part. Uta no Uta helped Ado go from being an up and rising singer from Japan to one of the world's most recognizable Japanese singers.
Wow.
This led to Ado signing a new record deal with Geffen Records. This deal would exist alongside her existing one, and the goal was for her to release music in the US. Soon enough, Ado would even be performing internationally.
Here we go,
If
bro.
you've made it this far in the video, you're probably wondering what exactly makes Ado this amazing singer that I've described her to be. Ado took inspiration from the likes of Shina Ringo and Yoeko Kurahashi for her own style of singing. I can't give you the explanation behind her vocal techniques, but this cat can. I'd highly recommend checking out their videos on Ado's vocals, or some other videos done by vocal
wow.
coaches to really understand why Ado's so talented.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, like, she just has an ability to transition between styles
In March of 2023,
very
a
quickly.
poll ran on Ado's social media accounts that asked fans what songs they wanted to hear Ado cover in an upcoming album. So in September, Ado released her first cover album called Ado's Utatamita album. It features 10 songs and is just over 40 minutes in length. The songs were chosen by Ado based on the social media poll and what she was interested in covering herself. From Showa era pop to Vocaloid, the songs on this album differ greatly in both genre and emotion. If you're going to listen to this album, you have to listen to the original songs first, because they'll make you appreciate the covers much more. My favorite song from this album is Unravel. I'm in the very small minority of people who didn't like the original song, but the way Ado covered it alongside the new instrumentation makes it one of my favorite Ado songs.
That was
Shina
insane.
Ringo is one of Ado's biggest inspirations, and I think she'd be very proud of how Ado covered her song Crime and Punishment. Then there's Kowai Kute Gomeru. I think that's how you pronounce it. This is the ultimate Jimbro song, and I never thought Ado would be able to replicate
Jimbro
the cute
song!
and feminine feel of it, but she did. Ado's
I gotta listen.
Utatamita album was the 7th ranked album in Japan out of every album released in December 2023, and it was a fitting way to end what was another amazing year for our young Utaite. On Ado's 21st birthday, it was announced that she was having a world tour, and as you
my
would expect, her fans went crazy,
Of course.
myself included. Now, I didn't think Ado would come to Toronto, but I was still really disappointed to find out she wasn't coming. I looked into doing a New York trip for the sake of seeing her, but I couldn't even get tickets for the New York or Chicago show.
Yo, low-key, I could do that.
Wish tickets sold out almost instantly. Even if you were in the queue for tickets long before they went live, you still weren't guaranteed to get them. The most unfortunate thing about this was that scalpers made sure to take advantage of this. One thing
Fucking
I found
scalpers, bro.
especially amusing was the plethora of memes online about Ado hating Singapore because she toured most major Asian countries excluding Singapore. The biggest concern with this tour was obviously how it would take place given Ado's choice to hide her identity. And what was the answer?
Yeah.
A box. Where have we seen this before? It reminds me of a certain pink creature. Taking videos and photos during Wish concerts
Crazy.
was prohibited, and for whatever reason, a lot of people thought this was a stupid rule and didn't follow it. Nevertheless, all of the 14 venues on this tour were performed to sold-out crowds, and it goes to show how popular Ado is globally, and this tour has made her brand even
This
more
was insane,
recognizable.
bro. I'm pretty sure I've seen that one, that exact one.
Ado's second studio album Zenmu will be released on July 10th.
I saw Zero.
Zenmu translates to
this,
unfulfilled
right?
dreams, and we already know 13 out of the 16 songs before it releases.
Yeah, Zero.
The oldest song that appears in Zenmu is Ea no Akarui, which came out back in 2022. It's a really beautiful love song, and I consider it to be the most underrated Ado song. I'm a Controversy is one of the few Ado songs I really disliked at first. However, it really grew on me when I understood why the chaotic and messy nature of the song fits the lyrical message perfectly. I'm a huge fan of city pop and other retro Japanese music, so when I first heard All Night Radio, I knew I'd be binge listening to it for a while. I would love to see Ado make more music in this style, and the best thing about this song
Yeah.
isn't even the music.
Her
It's the fact that
styles,
before the
I'm not gonna lie, her styles are always so different. I've explained this before too. Like, there's a beauty in that because you never know what to expect, and it forces you to listen to her songs. It isn't like, it's gonna be this again. You don't know what to expect. You know, it's not like usual artists where you kind of are expecting something. It's always something that you won't expect, even if you know Ado. Like, she's always gonna challenge herself or do something new that's crazy. And to me, that's amazing. Like, that's one of the best things about Ado. Like, it's always something surprising that you cannot predict, bro. It's crazy.
official music video was released, Ado posted the song on YouTube accompanied by photos of Pad Thai. Show is by far the most popular song on this album, and it should stay that way after its release. It'll probably be her third most viewed video on YouTube soon enough. Show is most similar to Odo. I thought it was kind of overrated at first, but when I came to appreciate all the smaller details in the song, I understood why it blew up so fast. Show is also used as the theme song for Universal Studios Japan's Halloween campaign.
Wait a
My
minute.
favorite song on this album has to be Himawari. This song is so gentle and warm. The lyrics are about showing appreciation for either a friend or lover, depending on how you want to think of it.
Oh.
It's also the theme song for this lesbian TV drama, which is pretty cool as well. Kura Kura marked Ado's return to
See
doing
what I mean? She has
anime
so many
music,
different
and once
versatility
again,
to
she did
her.
an amazing job. It was the opening for the second season of Spy Family, and I remember binge watching the first season after finding out Ado was going to do the second OP. What I really like about Kura Kura is that it not only fits the Spy Family vibe perfectly, but it's also a good standalone song. There's also a song called Chocolate Cadabra that was used for the 60th anniversary commercial of Lotte Well Food. Lastly, I wanted to mention how the music video for Value was done entirely on an iPad. I don't think Zanmu
That's
will be
insane.
received better than
What?
Kyogen
On an
or
iPad?
Utameruta, but I do think it'll top most of the Japanese charts that it enters.
If that don't inspire y'all, I don't know what will, dog. That's amazing.
LeBron James.
Scream if you love Auto.
Was that my king right there?
As you can probably tell by now, I'm a pretty big fan of Ado.
Just had to add
So
that
in
in
this
there.
section, I'm going to go over Ado-related stuff
My
that
boy.
I haven't mentioned already that'll give you a glimpse of the iceberg that comes with being an Ado fan.
Damn, but the bald ass
The
head.
most relevant song that I didn't mention already was Ado's collaboration with K-pop group LE SSERAFIM. She appeared in the Japanese version of their song Unforgiven, and I remember when it first came out, Ado was receiving a lot of unnecessary hate for it. One of the least streamed Ado songs
Something
is
she not used
ironically
to.
a collaboration with YOASOBI.
Something she's not used to, right? She used to getting hate already, bro. I mean, let's be honest. She's kind of already accustomed to that. That's kind of where she built her music off of, which is, by the way, a very good strength to have because especially in an industry like this where everybody's very nitpicky, everybody's so critical. That's how it is, man. But she's used to it, bro. She can handle it.
Obi's Ayase, the same guy who produced Racing Into the Night and Idol. Ado did a cover of Twinkle Twinkle Little Star for April Fools,
What?
and the video ironically has over 4 million views on YouTube. I could pretty much talk
That's
about
crazy.
every Ado song, but for the sake of time, I'll leave it at that. Maybe I'll do another video on that topic because there's just so many good songs that I didn't get to mention. Ado was learning English in preparation for her Wish tour, and she said before that she'd love to cover a Billie Eilish song eventually. Maybe we'll see some Ado English
Oh,
covers
yeah.
in the
And
far
now
future.
she also collab with Imagine
You know
Dragons.
the avatar that's associated with Ado? Yeah, her name's not Ado, but actually Chando. So the voice who sings is Ado, but the character itself is named Chando.
Oh, wow.
Another Ado-related character worth mentioning is Hachan. Yeah,
Oh,
this tooth
is
with
that
a
a
face.
tooth?
So when Ado got her wisdom teeth removed, she supposedly drew Hachan while recovering, and the character became a big enough inside joke with her fans that they made merch of Hachan.
Oh.
Speaking of merch, Ado has done some really cool merch lines. We had the plushies that I mentioned before, a novel, and even a fashion line that was, well,
Damn.
insanely expensive.
She looks
Ado
sick,
even
bro.
has her own original character with Sanrio, the company behind Hello Kitty.
Oh, Sanrio,
It's a
bro.
blue cat named Ado Rosa
I love
Taromare,
Sanrio.
or Ado Rosa for short. And in
Low
last
key, bro. I know. Listen, I love Sanrio because it's so adorable. I went in like so many Sanrio shops, especially with my girlfriend in Japan. So worth it, bro. So worth it.
year's annual Sanrio character rankings, Ado Rosa came 52nd out of the 90 characters. Here's some more irrelevant Ado facts that came from her Japanese fan club Doki Doki Secret Base.
Damn, y'all.
Ado has won a number of awards
Her
and
social
even
security
appeared in some
number.
commercials, most notably with McDonald's. I don't know who's
What?
responsible for the McDonald's collaboration, but they managed to mess up both its music and visuals.
Uh-oh.
Ado had
not
her own
let him
weekly
cook,
show on
dog.
the radio program All Night Nippon from March 2023 to March 2024, and she's also launched her own idol group last year, but there hasn't been any updates about it since. If you couldn't guess already, Ado's a big fan of anime,
Of course.
and there's even a list of her 20 favorite series if you want some new show recommendations. Ado apparently has a Hatsune Miku
What?
shrine in her room, and who could blame her for wanting one?
Damn.
She's also a big fan of the game Splatoon, and
That
has
isn't
done
actually
live
her photo,
streams
right?
playing Minecraft and Mario Kart before.
Mm.
The funniest live stream she's done though is when her chat tried gaslighting her that onions fly in Australia. To end this section, I
Ain't
have
no
to show the most
goddamn-
iconic clip of Ado.
Please don't tell me this is her, bro. They try to gaslight. Wait, onions do fly in Australia, y'all. Y'all didn't know that? I've been. Why you looking at me like that, dog? I'm being for real. They do. And in Brazil, dogs can fly too. I know. I was born in Brazil, guys. I'm Brazilian. Yes. They can fly. Right? Any other Brazilians? Let them know, bro. Dogs fly in Brazil.
And that's her reacting to her own concert performance. Just remember, there's no person in this world who hates Ado more than Ado does.
What? Wait. So she's like those type of people. Like I know so many people like that. They can't hear their own voice, even though they're musicians. Like it just happens. You can't do it. Diado, my fault, G.
Within 7 years, Ado went from recording covers in her closet to becoming one of Japan's most recognizable music figures.
Amazing, by the way.
Despite the lack of belief from her parents, friends, and teachers, Ado chose to keep believing in herself and pursue the one dream that gave herself purpose. It's rare to see a singer reach Ado's level of fame and still hold on to the same ideals and humbleness that they had starting
This is
out.
a beautiful video, by the
Could
way.
we see Ado follow in the footsteps of artists like
Great video,
Ene,
by the way,
who
guy.
eventually revealed their identity? I don't think so. Ado has expressed her desire to stay as an utaite for as long as she sings.
That's amazing.
In the next decade, Ado will undoubtedly be one of the biggest artists to bring J-pop to a bigger global audience. And to do that faceless is even more impressive.
Yeah, for real.
So what's next for Ado?
There's a lot of pros to that too.
Well, Ado recently became the first solo female artist to hold not one, but 2 shows at the Japan National Stadium in April. Ado's 3 biggest dreams are to win a Grammy, perform at Coachella, and have the biggest world
She
tour
will.
that any Japanese artist
She
has
will.
done before.
She will.
Still only 21, Ado has years of great music and performances ahead of her, and there's no doubt in my mind that thinks she won't make her dreams come true.
Facts.